Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Building Moggy Caves, and I have done some work off camera. But it's not what you think it may be. Because at the end of last episode I said that I would continue building this off camera, which I did not do. I have not done anything, and I'm thinking that maybe this can be the one that we all build together, where I show you exactly what's going on in my head and as I'm doing this stuff. What I have done is that over there. This is the Dripstone theme. And I'm super excited to show you that this is finished. Except for maybe some of the redstone, but I can just do that real quick later on. But let me introduce you to the Dripstone theme, which looks absolutely amazing and probably better without the night vision on that I always have. So let's drink some milk, because he needs some milk, and let's go through this theme. And the first room you run into as soon as you enter is this room right here, with a little bit of an extra danger added in other than mobs. So let's just take a walk around, and you can see there's a pillager outpost. So I'm pretty sure you can all guess who's the enemy here. Well, let me introduce you to the pillagers. If they spawn, at least. They should. They will. They like spawning. I hope. And with a failed spawn attempt, let me show you the center room. Da 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 da. Yep. Again, a lot of lava. A very nice place in the center. And of course, a brown crystal. But of course, I don't want to show you all the paths, so I'm just quickly gonna go into each room and just show you what they are and how I call them. Here we have the robot room, which is called this way because there are some robots here and some mechanical stuffs and chisels and yep, a giant hand crane, also very nice. We have the village room, or should I call it factory room, seeing as the houses are all based on factories. This is similar to the starting room, but with water at the bottom instead. And this has to be one of my all-time favorite rooms. And I call it the Chrono rooms. And oh, there's one pillager that didn't feel like spawning earlier. Hi there. And if you listen closely, you may notice ticking. Because of course there are quite a few clocks, so they better be ticking, right? Anyway, clock here, clock there, clocks everywhere, as well as gears. And this bell can actually ring. Of course, you can ring it yourself. And the pillagers will light up. But sometimes this will activate on its own. Here we have the door to the mushroom theme. And here we have the door to the nether theme, or to the hellish theme, however I like to call it. And it seems that this door is kind of broken for some reason. Let's just quickly fix that. Yep, seems to be working again. Perfect. And then we have the treasure room, which is full of lava, so you better be careful. And if you heard that, good, because you should be slightly careful around here. This, however, is mostly to cause a bit of a scare, because realistically you're not gonna fall into this. Watch this. Just walking straight will do the job. Even walking a bit wonky will be fine, because everything is gonna prevent you from going into all sorts of directions. This will only get you if you want to be gotten by it. Like, see? That's how you fail. But realistically, you're not really going to fall down there if you're just walking along perfectly normal. So was the dripstone theme the only thing I did off camera? Of course not, because I'm crazy. So I've built a giant volcano. And of course, this is above the nether theme of Moggy Dungeon. And right underneath this is, as you may expect, Yep, this room, of course. Because why wouldn't it be this room? And other than that, this is now actually accessible, so there's no more invisible wall here. You can actually go over here, you can go over there. You cannot go off the platform, don't worry. And I've decided to make this castle the tutorial area. So when you go in, you'll be met with some lecterns that will hold books in them, don't have books in them just yet. Some tutorials, some instructions, some examples, etc. And there's one more tutorial area, kind of. It's an explanation for a part of the game that I'm going to include towards the end, called Rifts. And the only teaser I'll give you is this room right here. Yep, these are the rifts, and that's all I'll say. Lastly, I have made one very big change. And that is that now the game rule of natural health regeneration is back on true. So just eating will help you regain some health, and that way you won't die as easily within the caves. But that does mean that one of the mods had to change, because we did have a mod that randomly turned it back on so you would regain health. I'm pretty sure you know where this is going. Game rule natural regeneration false. Yep, there is now an anti-mod that turns it off, and it's called injured. Those aren't all of the changes I've made, but I'm probably going to include those in the next episode, and who knows, maybe I'll make some changes after this episode as well. So, yep, be sure to subscribe to watch that episode whenever it goes live. Anyway, let's go back to these caves, the amethyst. Yay, we've been waiting for such a long time for this. We have waited at least 1 week. Yeah, much time has passed. Anyway, let's get into this. So let's start off with this giant box right here, which is still very empty, but as you can see it does have a floor, which is actually higher up, because the main floor is down there, and this one doesn't really have a lower and an upper part. This just has the upper part, just like some other rooms in the caves already do. And here we have a structure block. Now what is special about this structure block? It holds something. It holds what's going to be in this room. And what is going to be in this room are amethyst trees. And here we have one of the trees. And as you can see, it's quite pretty. So now what we need to do is just fill this room with more trees like this. So we've got quite a few trees in, as you can see, and it's looking rather compact, I would say. Maybe a bit even compressed. But I think it's fine. I don't think we should add in more of these trees. I think maybe what we should do is add in a bit more color on the ground as well. So of course what we're going to do is put more deep slate in here. But that's not the only thing I'm thinking of. What we're thinking is maybe some warped nylium. Maybe, not quite sure. Another option, of course, is the allium, but it cannot be placed on warped nylium apparently. And another thing is just some magenta glass with some of these around it. Yeah, could be nice. So, what do we think of this? It's looking pretty nice, I would say. It's never going to be my favorite room, that's for sure. But, yeah, I would say it's quite nice. We have a bunch of fallen leaves, I would say. I mean, they're amethyst crystals, of course. But you could say that they are leaves. And we have a few, I don't know, smaller leaves, I guess. Oh, and of course, alliums. But let's take a look at this room without the night vision. And I would say it's actually looking pretty cool. Keep in mind, we are going to have caves and so, but yeah, we're probably not going to have that much light here. And of course, we still need a place for the spawner, and it could probably be over here. So let's just grab the spawner. Just place it down. There we go. And it's looking quite purple-ish. Yeah, quite nice. I like it. Okay, and a couple of changes later, and well, a lot of time later, because it's been absolutely ages since I recorded anything in this world. This room is now done when it comes to design. I have changed up the trees to be with cherry wood instead. This was something that Sandy recommended me doing. She actually first said you should strip the logs. I didn't like that. We tried a different thing, didn't like it either. And then at one point she said, use cherry logs. I'm like, I love it, you're a genius, we'll do that. And yep, that's how this room came to be. I've also placed down a few invisible light sources at a couple of places, a lot in the quote-unquote leaves, I would call them, as you can see, because it definitely brightens them up a bit more and just gives that little bit of extra light that we need in a room to even be able to see anything, because it is quite dark, but I'm sure that if we really need to, we can add a few more light sources here and there. I've done the same thing in the caves. I've also definitely done some stuff with the caves, but not all of the caves like you see over there. That's still very underdeveloped. And yeah, this one looking a lot better. And I've also added in a secret in this room. You can just walk in here. That's not the secret, but the way you get up here is the secret, of course. Because I do want secret passages to go from the bottom layer to the top layer within this theme, within level 2 themes at least. Not sure about level 3 yet. Well, let's see what else we still need to do. We still need to do this room over here, which is a door that leads to the mushroom caves, as you can see. And yeah, a little spoiler just popped up on screen. I'm not going to talk about that in this episode. I'll probably do that in the next one. And I believe the door to, what is it, the Skulk theme? Yep, Skulk theme. That also still needs to be done. But I think next up I'm going to focus on this room. Very dark, but yeah, let's get to it. So for now I'll just do it with night vision, but let's start on creating the pixel art, which I'm curious if it's even going to fit in this room. Let's see. Yes, it will. And apparently this is the exact center. So what we can do is grab this structure block, place it down here, grab this same structure block, place it down here, and yes, this should do it. That also means this one's gonna have to go here at 90 degrees. Yes, I believe it does overlap. And going to have to do the same thing over here at 270 degrees. Yeah, we're just getting the same thing and rotating it. Just so it fits perfectly, and you might be wondering why exactly I went for the thing in the middle. That's just how I save it. So let's load it in. There we go. And this thing is going to get loaded in again. As you'll see, yep, the same thing. And yeah, this is the exact center. I think we only needed like, yeah, I think we only really needed 2 or 3 of these blocks, but you know, I'm choosing to be safe here and just placed all 4 of them down. Okay. So now we can remove these blocks. One thing that was recommended to me by Sunday was that I would place this one upside down. While I like that idea a lot, I would have to rebuild the entire thing, which I didn't feel like doing. So, yeah. I mean, it still looks good. It definitely has a very big presence in this room. And I think what we're going to add in next will add even more of a presence. And maybe highlight this a bit more. I'm not sure. We'll see what effects the other crystals are going to have here. Because this is going to be the crystal room. That's why I have a giant amethyst pixel art over here. And I'm likely to put the spawner. By the way, we've upgraded to 1.21 because the one is out now and I started recording again in this version. Probably gonna put it over there. Okay. And yeah, I'm going to just kick out these items of my inventory. Okay. And let's get the items that we need. So we need some ore. A lot of ore. We're going to need... I'm not sure. Maybe we can actually use the deep slate iron ore. I'm not sure yet. I haven't tested it with that one, to be honest. I've just tested it with the copper, gold, redstone, emeralds, lapis, and diamond. But who knows? We'll see if this is a nice combination. So we're going to need a bunch of glass next. So we're going to go into the glass section. There we go. This is for iron, this is for redstone, this is for copper, this is for gold, this is for emeralds, this is for diamond, this is for lapis. Which am I missing? Okay, I'm not really missing any apparently. That's good. I was already going crazy, like, I thought I had 8, but I only had 7. Okay, so what we're going to do is, actually we'll start off with the ores themselves. And let's start with... Sure, we'll go with these colors first. So what I'm going to do is place it here, surround it, and then we're gonna go and make it... Let's see, do we want to put it here? Yes, okay. So we're not going to make this touch the red ore, or the red glass. But we're gonna go like this. And also go out by 1 maybe. Sure. Looks good. Let's do yellow next. Okay, well now it looks like I'm gonna make a rainbow, which was not my intention. So what I'll do now is place the blue over here. Let's see. Yeah, let's actually do a blue one over here as well. Maybe over here. And... okay, that's starting to look nice. Let's add in some green. Put it here. Okay. And next up, let's do diamond. Oh, that's cyan. I want it light blue. Okay, so these are the kind of crystals I want to have all over this room. So it's going to be a very, very colorful room. And I think it's going to look absolutely amazing. What I do want to do is put in a bit of light, but I don't want it to be too bright. So maybe instead of 15, I'll put it at... let's see, what is it going to be at now? 11? Okay, looks good. We'll do the same over here. The issue here is that I don't want it too bright because the spawner is over there. So I'm either going to have to move the spawner or I'm going to have to simply deal with the light in different manners. But I think what I can actually do is maybe put light here. And that should light up a bit more of this build. Okay, let's just take it out of our hands for a moment. And yep, they should disappear. And I think that already looks a lot better. I think that looks a lot better too. So we're probably just going to go for the level 11 light sources. And I'm going to put more of this around the room. Well, this certainly has become a very colorful room. And I like it. It's just that, you know, they are quite high up, so you'll have to look up, and if you just look around and you're trying to fight off the mobs, it's nothing special because you're just looking at the floor. And while I have already placed in a little bit of deep slate into the floor, it's, of course, not enough. We need to make the floor a little bit better. Okay, this is the floor I've gone for. So, for example, here you see the red crystals, the green crystals, blue, orange, and I mean, we all know what ores they really are, but I'm going to refer to this room as the crystal room, so therefore these are now redefined as crystals. Okay. And yeah, I mean, I really like the look of this, I have to say. But of course, we still need to put in shulker boxes. And one thing I have changed is right over here. I've actually just taken out like 4 blocks, like there were magenta blocks over here. I've taken these out just because imagine this spawns all the mobs in, well, this place over here and they'll get stuck. That makes this room pretty simple. Like you just defeat those and it just spawns a bunch of them over here. Like that's just gonna clog up for this spawner and it's just not gonna do anything. So of course don't want that. And maybe I can even make it so that it does spawn it here and then it just go out from the crystal, from the amethyst crystal itself. Yeah, but that's where I'm going to leave this room for today. I think it looks good. I have of course also put in a little bit of light on top of these, but not as strong light as with the other crystals, because these are way closer to the spawner, of course, and these are just on the floor. So I really want the look when you look up to be like, holy wow, that looks amazing, rather than you look at the floor and you're like, okay, there's a bit of glass here, there's a stone there, yada yada yada. Okay, so I want the feeling of this room to be like, wow, not just, you know, you want to look at the floor. The floor is important too, of course, but it's not as important as the room itself. Now, one other thing that I actually have done, but I didn't record, is that I did create a treasure room. I've put it over here, and this is what it looks like. It's nothing too spectacular, but I have made these 2 little statues here, these amethyst stone statue warriors, golems looking guys. I think they're rather cute, so it's nice. And of course here's the shulker box. And this is actually an amethyst room over here, but you know, you don't even see that much detail from below here. However, I just knowing it's there is it's nice, you know. It gives a special feeling. But definitely nice view from down below here. And the only thing we still need to do now is the doors. So the door to the mushroom theme and the door to the skulk theme. Now, I did have an idea for this room, I believe, but I will have to look back at what I had in mind. Either go into my creative, well, my structure world, that's how I'm calling it, and see if it's there, or maybe it's not even there and it just is an image in my head of something I've seen before. I definitely need to look it up, but I think it's going to be quite easy to create a mushroom room here. Seeing as I already finished the mushroom theme a little bit over there. Yeah, I have been busy. It's not like I've been slacking. I know I haven't been recording or making videos, but you know, I still did stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to take inspiration from that room and just put some stuff in here. I could technically do the same thing for the skull, but yeah, there was something in my head, and I definitely want to be able to put that there. So I'm going to look for that first before I actually start on that room. But before I even get to that room, let's just do this room real quick. And the first thing I want to do is just quickly just take care of this area, continue this path, put in dirt, and put in stone that just divides this area, and then actually put some stuff over here. So for the mushroom door, I've decided let's go with 2 big mushrooms, and yeah, this just leads to this room that I showed you earlier in the episode, and then this actually leads to the mushroom theme, and yeah, I think it looks pretty nice. Definitely very mushroom and amethyst like, so it fits the theme. And I've also worked on this room right here for the Skulk theme. It definitely has a bit of a scary vibe going on with it, and I love that. Definitely what I wanted. So yeah, I also installed some lights over here, so it's not always going to be this dark. You can definitely have a little bit more vision. And yeah, don't worry about these going off. These are, you know, the ones that you can just place down. They don't spawn wardens or anything. In the Skull theme, of course, there will be wardens spawning from these shriekers, but not in this theme, of course. And now the only thing we still need to do is the caves themselves, but I'm always a bit... Yeah, I don't really like doing the caves themselves. They are very repetitive, unlike the rooms with all of them having something different going on inside of them. Like, that's the real fun of building this, just the basics of the room, like the things that make up the room itself, like these things, and you know, the centerpiece and all of that. What I don't like doing is like the stuff from the corners and the ceiling and all of that. And yeah, these caves, for example, like the smaller ones are quite easy to do. This one is bearable, but then, for example, if we look all the way over here, you know I'm not going to do this any moment soon. Probably saving this till like much later on. But now the only thing we still need to do is the redstone, and I believe I have actually already done an episode on, you know, all those shulker boxes and how they work. So I'm actually going to end it here, and next time I'll actually show you what I've been up to this past like year of me not recording, but still busy in this world. Don't worry, I have done stuff, quite a lot of stuff actually. So hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye bye.